Good morning. Yeah, I am looking a little different today. Y'all see where I done chop, chop, chop for what, like the 30-second time? But actually, that's a point that I could use to talk about. Guys, we need to take more time out to understand ourselves. We need to take the time out to understand ourselves so we can understand why and how we do the things that we do. We need to be able to show up for us when nobody else shows up for us. That time when you rolled for that person and that person turned on you, or you saw more in that person than they saw for themselves, and you went hard trying to get them to understand, like, you were this and you were powerful and, you know, all this stuff. Yeah, you need to do that for you. Let me tell you something. I'm not going to argue with anybody. Well, I have before. Let me take that back. But my goal isn't to argue with anybody unless I know what I'm talking about. So if I, for a split second, kind of challenge what you say, just know, oh, she know what she talking about. And if I really, really don't know, shit, I think that I know everything that I'm talking about. So try not to challenge me when I get to speaking up. And when I do that, it's because I know. I know. Some of us find ourselves in some of the same relationships and some of the same cycles, back to back to back to back. You know why? And I was guilty of this because we didn't learn that lesson that was within it. We didn't learn that lesson. We didn't go within to understand, like, why am I keep doing the same thing over and over again? Why do I have this pattern? I just don't understand. But let me figure out within me. Let me go back. Sometimes we got to go back down history of ourselves, of our own lives to see where this pattern started. Is it easy? And I tell y'all everything, look, everything is not easy, but is it worth it? It is. So after you take that time out to get to the root of it, not saying you go find out that day, not saying you go find out that month. I hope you can. But after you find out that issue or the root of why you doing it, is not to put blame on it. Oh, well, I know I act this way because this happened. Or I act that way because that happened. No. The reason of you finding out the root of the problem so that you can deal with it and acknowledge, like, this is me, and push forward. Okay, now I understand why this happened. So how am I going to fix this? Or how am I going to change my reactions? Or, how can I make this better? It's not to put fault on, oh, well, such and such did this to me from the past, or, this happened to me, or I'm doing this because, just to give yourself validation. Don't do that. We're all in the time where we need to know ourselves, so that the more we know ourselves, the more we could connect to our higher self and, to our God and to our spirit team, so we could be able to distinguish what and who is talking to us. If you know you're tired, take the time out to rest. If you know that you're burnt out, take the time out to rest. If you don't feel like doing something for somebody, take that time out to rest. The only person that can make you feel guilty of doing something is you. You are the co-creator of your life. And when you accept that and acknowledge that, a lot of things in your life I'm not even going to say, it will go smoother. It will go smoother because you have more understanding. And I'm grateful for that. I have so much gratitude for understanding me because, there was a time in my life that I did more for other people than I did for myself. There was a time in my life that I tried to constantly keep a certain image when I wasn't being true to myself. I thought I was. But it was wearing me down and it was frustrating me, and it was just like, no. Grasp who you are. Because you as an individual is going to bring your individual success, your individual comfort, your individual wealth, so more to be. I claim that. Know who you are so others will know who you are. Know who you are so others will know who you are. If you can't show up for you, don't feel entitled for someone else to show up for you. We all have people to guide us. We may feel like we need to go and talk to somebody, speak with someone. But can't nobody show up for you like you show up for you. Love on yourself a little bit. That time you will spend speaking to somebody else, speak to yourself, speak over yourself. Talk to yourself some. Correct yourself. It ain't nothing about it. It's not about embarrassment. Who cares about that? You fixing and working on you. And you know what? Once you fix and work on you, you just don't know the reward that's waiting for you. And this is a lesson that I've had to learn. I repeated some of the same lessons for years and years. I can't explain. I'm fine with it now because I understand. Oh, how dare you stay and let this happen to you for this long? I didn't understand, but now I know. Now I ain't letting it pop off no more, but also by me being able to pinpoint the role that I played in things that happened to me, I can move forward. It's not about being in a blame game. It's not about a blame game no more. Oh, it's not about that. When maturity hits you, a little wisdom slap you across the face, You gotta take it. And you gotta learn and grow with it. It's an amazing feeling. To look back at what you've been through previously and see where you are now because of the self-work that you've done. To see how your mind was once just so chaotic to seeing the peace that you have now. It's worth it. And I challenge you to actually go through just a few hours a day. Honestly, give yourself 30 minutes a day and just think and appreciate you. Of course you're gonna think, your higher power. But honor yourself some. It's worth the reward. I wish you guys nothing but peace, love, abundance, prosperity, self-love, self-love, and unity. I love you guys. Take care.